My first question is that over 55 doctors write to authorities on why school should reopen now with higher priority. And there are experts who are also saying that, at this particular stage when numbers are rising, schools should not be reopened. Sir, what you would like to say about it?
If you look at the history of what is going on in the United States where schools were open, and also a large number of those children have been vaccinated because vaccine became available some months ago, that the Association of Pediatrics in the US says that the number of cases after the schools have reopened have gone up from 38,000 per week in July to 180,000 per week in August. So there has been a whole question mark raised about the wisdom of opening schools. So now we are to look at all the aspects of it, and what they have said over there is that there is a multi-layer. Multi-layer means that everybody is vaccinated when they go to school. They go, there is ventilation which is made, all the precautions of distancing are done, and masking is 100%. In spite of that they say that there are some areas where the numbers have gone so high to the point that 22% of new infections are now children, which used to be less than 14% before, about 12 to 13% before. So if it is going that high in the early stages of the schools reopening, because the schools have only reopened from July 4th when so the vacation ends there. So we are now looking at almost 2 months now, and the numbers keep climbing. And what they are seeing is that there are a lot of hospitalizations in children also. So there is a warning from Florida which says that the hospitals are full with children and they don't have any facilities left to be able to cater to new cases of children. So we have to look at it in perspective for India, where children have not been vaccinated at all. And also the fact that we may or may not have the luxury of open spaces, the fact that they are distancing that much, because children do tend to congregate. They don't see the danger as we see it. So, that is another factor. So this has been our nightmare for the people who are planning for the future, for the third wave. That, look, if enough children fall sick, we don't have the facilities in India to actually take care of them. We are gearing up, but we're still a long way away from having good facilities because we don't have enough doctors who know pediatrics. We don't have enough ICUs for children. We don't have enough ventilators. We don't have all this. We are preparing for it. The government is trying to ramp up as fast as possible. But given our population, and if we are going to learn from what happens in a pandemic wave, which we saw in the last wave, which also US saw. So if we are going to take some examples of them, my belief is that we should be a lot more cautious. And the fact is that the vaccine is now around the corner because the drug controller just approved the Zydus vaccine. So even if people get one dose, we know that the protection goes up 30, 40, 50%. So is it that we should be patient for another 2-3 months till the vaccine arrives, children get vaccinated, and then they go to school? Or are we in a rush to open right now? For what reason? I don't know. So the point is, one thing is that yes, you do want to, the children have been suffering for the last 18 months and cooped up in their homes, and some of them don't have the facilities to be able to be online all the time. No, yes, these are challenges, but the challenge will be because of our own population being so large. And God forbid, if something like this breaks loose, we may have a problem. So children can spread it much faster. They can spread it to their families. So I think extreme caution should be used where, under what circumstances we are allowing schools to open. We have the facilities. If all the teachers are vaccinated, everybody, all the children are tested negative, and they come in, and there is regular testing going on, and also that the masking is done religiously, then we can take a step forward, but knowing very well that we must monitor it so closely that and also allow schools which have the total recommendation that are given in the protocol have those facilities. But in spite of all that, what my caution is that, children like to, talk to each other, hug each other. They like to play with each other. So it's a very difficult thing to manage. So anyway, that my opinion is this from the data, that we know that 22%, it has risen from 12-13% to 22%, almost doubling now. The number of children who are infected in the new wave in US. And like I said, 180 in 1 week, 180,000 in 1 week, children infected. This is in spite of the fact that a large proportion of the children have been vaccinated.
So right now, Kerala battles rising COVID cases, as well as there is a slight rise number of cases in Delhi and Maharashtra also. What you would like to say about it?
So it just is a warning sign to us that the virus has not disappeared. We need to be a little more patient, which is very encouraging, is that yesterday 100,000 vaccines were given. If we can maintain the pace, by the end of December, we would have vaccinated almost all the people who need to be vaccinated. So that is a very good data that came out yesterday, very encouraging, that we have been able to accomplish 100,000. We just need to sustain it. And then, of course, after we have had the critical mass vaccinated and the children also vaccinated, then of course we can open. But now we are at the end of August, we are September, so we are now talking about the next 3 months. Mm. If we can be patient and cautious, then I think that graded school opening is the government's decision, the local body's decision. But I would still give extreme caution, because as I said, God forbid if it happens that it starts spreading in children, we do not have enough facilities in our country right now. Maybe in December we will, but not right now. The second thing is that what they are saying is that no matter what, children are getting infected. Enough, or close to 4% are admitted in ICUs in US. And those children, and there are many children who've had long COVID. So after the COVID infection, or they get what we call multi-organ inflammatory syndrome. This we have seen in India also, small amounts. But if the number of infections rise in children, and this Delta variant is a different kettle of fish. It's different. And we are detecting Delta plus. Now, if the next wave comes with Delta, so what we are believing today is that in the last second wave, that we call, which went up so high, a large proportion was Delta. So we may be immune to Delta because lots of people got infected. But at the same time, it's always mutating. So we're talking about so many other Delta plus mutations that are already identified. And why is it not actually coming under control in states like Kerala? Why not in Maharashtra? In the Northeast also, still the numbers are high. So we are not able to, unfortunately, get below, it goes between 40, 50, 40, 50. So we are still seeing the very, very thick tail of the second wave. Now, we're worried as clinicians, as people who are worried about the facilities and what we will see, because we have been through the second wave where we knew that it shook the whole country, that at all costs we should not allow it to happen again.
So, do you think, sir, that we are moving towards endemic? Because some of the experts are saying that, we are moving towards endemicity.
Yeah. So what is the difference between a pandemic and an endemic? Endemic means that it becomes chronic, that it will come again and again, but it will be less severe and it will be numerically less people will get infected. It's just like that H1N1 flu. Is around and gradually you see here less and less about it. Okay. Now, also, if it turns to that level, then, like we have flu vaccine, we could have a vaccine for COVID also. And hopefully, historically, if you look at the Spanish flu, it abruptly came to an end. So we don't know where we are. I'll be the first one to admit that all of us who are experts who get onto the TV all the time, we are at best making educated guesses. We don't know where it's going to go. We thought after the first wave that we were well prepared for any other eventuality. Nobody knew it would go 4 times. Of course, we helped it along. Now, festival season is coming. Again, that whole period from October to February March will be very vulnerable. Now, it depends on how much control we have already, and when things open up, what will happen. So today, if you look at data, some of the data is encouraging in the sense that, you take North India, not Northeast, but North India, the numbers are under control, but then still you see bumps from here and there. So it's not like as people open up, as more and more activity takes place, the chances are that the numbers will go up. But the race is between the virus and the vaccine. Now, vaccine being 100,000, if that's the vaccine we can make available on a daily basis, we can win this battle. No question.
Sir, in Hindi, I would like to know the same question that schools खुलने वाले हैं सर दिल्ली में और कई स्टेट्स में भी और भी जगहों पर खुले हैं. तो ऐसे में जिस तरह से केसेस लगातार कई जगहों पे जैसे कि केरला हो गया, दिल्ली में भी थोड़ा सा राइज देखा गया है और महाराष्ट्र में भी. तो आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे सर? क्या लगता है कि इस टाइम पर स्कूल्स ओपन करना क्या सही डिसीजन है?
देखो, ऐसा है कि अगर जो आप देखेंगे कि हम वर्ल्ड का एक्सपीरियंस देख के अपने आप को उसी हिसाब से प्रिपेयर करेंगे, तो यूएस में स्कूल खुल रहे थे और देखा गया कि इन्फेक्शन रेट एकदम ऊपर चला गया. सो अगर जो आप देखोगे कि जुलाई 4 से छुट्टियां खत्म होती हैं तो जुलाई में स्कूल शुरू हुए, तो जुलाई मिडल में जो था, पर in the first week or the second week of July, there were 38,000 cases. But in the third week of August, there are 180,000 cases of children. और ये भी आप सोचो कि उनमें काफी बच्चों को वैक्सीनेशन लग चुकी है, क्योंकि उनकी तो 2-3 महीने पहले आ गई थी. तो अगर जो इन स्पाइट ऑफ वैक्सीन अगर जो ये हालत है और बच्चों को हो रहा है और उनमें से कई आईसीयू में भी पहुंचे हैं, तो हमें सावधान रहना चाहिए. हमें, क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान में हमारी पॉपुलेशन भी बहुत ज्यादा है, तादाद इतनी ज्यादा है, और हमारी जो बच्चों के लिए फैसिलिटीज है वो उसमें काफी कमी है. और ऑल्दो ये फ्लैग हुआ है और तैयारी हो रही है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी, प्राइवेट की तरफ से भी, पर अभी तो शुरू हुआ है. हमारे को ये अगर जो ये वेव जल्दी आ गई तो वो बिल्कुल मुश्किल होगी बच्चों के लिए. तो अगर जो हम देख रहे हैं कि कई जगह है, जैसे स्टेट ऑफ फ्लोरिडा है अमेरिका में, उन्होंने एक डिक्लेयर किया कि बच्चों के लिए जगह ही नहीं बची हॉस्पिटल्स में और आईसीयूज में, इतनी ज्यादा तादाद में बच्चे आ गए. तो इसीलिए मेरे को ये वार्निंग साइंस लगते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ डेल्टा प्लस भी है. अमेरिका में डेल्टा है जो पहले हमारी सेकेंड वेव के एंड में तकरीबन मिडल में आया था, और उसकी वजह से काफी तादाद में हमारे पेशेंट्स जो इन्फेक्ट हुए थे वो डेल्टा से हुए. पर अगर जो आप अनुमान लगाएं कि अमेरिका जिसकी पॉपुलेशन हमारे से 1/4 है और हमारे चिल्ड्रन भी उसी प्रोपोर्शन में ज्यादा ही हैं, तो उनको प्रोटेक्ट करना, जब हमने 18 महीने से ज्यादा अब अपने प्रोटेक्ट किया है कि तकलीफ तो है बच्चों को एक बंद रखा गया है, ऑनलाइन सारा दिन स्कूल चलता है, कई लोग बच्चों के पास सुविधा ही नहीं है ऑनलाइन के लिए, तो प्रॉब्लम तो है। बट मेरे को लगता है कि जब अब वैक्सीन अप्रूव हुई है हिंदुस्तान में और बच्चे वैक्सीनेट होंगे, उनकी सेफ्टी बहुत डिग्री तक बढ़ जाएगी। तो उनकी सेफ्टी बढ़ाने के बाद स्कूल खोले जाएं आस्ते आस्ते, जैसे वो वैक्सीनेट होते जाएं बच्चे, वैसे ही स्कूल अटेंड कर सकते हैं। टीचर्स का तो है ही है, पर अभी कई भी टीचर्स भी होंगे, क्योंकि टीचर्स काफी आगे जिनका नंबर अभी आया भी नहीं है, जिनको सिर्फ एक डोज लगा है, एक भी डोज नहीं लगा। तो ये सब बातें सोचते हुए ये लोकल डिसीजन होगी, लोकल गवर्नमेंट की, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की। बट मेरे हिसाब से ये सावधानी, हमें ये वार्निंग मिलनी चाहिए कि दुनिया में ये एक्सपेरिमेंट जो हुआ है स्कूल खोलने का, उसमें काफी सारी डेंजर्स आए हैं, और उस हिसाब से हमें अपना अनुमान लगाना चाहिए हर स्कूल के लिए। जैसे अमेरिका में उन्होंने एक प्रोटोकॉल बनाई कि मास्किंग जरूरी है, टेस्टिंग जरूरी है, वैक्सीनेशन जरूरी है, और वेंटिलेशन बहुत अच्छी जरूरी है। अब जिनके अंदर ये फैसिलिटीज है और खोल सकते हैं तो वो खोलें, आहिस्ते आहिस्ते खोलें। पर अगर जो हम मैस अगर जो ये प्रॉब्लम आ गया।
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता। अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें, और हाँ, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें, ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए News24।